trail of breadcrumbs that leads to a great criminal mind.
And how is Napoleon Bonaparte involved?
By my fifth night without sleep, I may have been reaching.
Fifth.
By my fifth night without sleep, I may have been reaching.
This thing with Sherlock, there are steps. Captain Gregson suspended him from the NYPD.
Suspend.
Captain Gregson suspended him from the NYPD.
His real name is Len Pontecorvo. He didn't rise to my bait earlier. Most unlike the man.
Unlike.
Most unlike the man.
Instead of digging up some autoerotic strangulation case.
Otto, you think he did this to himself?
You think
Auto.
Otto, you think he did this to himself?
you think he didn't?
Well, it's hard to tell without removing the belt to examine the ligature marks on his neck. What I did notice, the belt itself was a 38.
Belt.
What I did notice, the belt itself was a 38. The ligature marks on his neck. What I did notice, the belt itself was a 38. Rather large for a man of such narrow proportions.
Proportion.
Rather large for a man of such narrow proportions. Or he could have been strangled by a much larger man and then hung on the machine like a Christmas ornament. Also, notice the index finger on his right hand. It appears.
Index.
Also, notice the index finger on his right hand. It appears. Let you know if we learn anything. Been through the man's things. So far, none of the conventional ways of getting.
Convention.
So far, none of the conventional ways of getting. So far, none of the conventional ways of getting oneself killed apply. Pontecorvo didn't owe anyone money.
O.
Pontecorvo didn't owe anyone money. It's one of mine. Yes, we may as well bring them with us. Worth a laugh anyway, although I promise you there is a conventional
Conventional.
Although I promise you there is conventional The Army War College stages a series of them. The players consist of military personnel and civilian experts.
Civilian.
And civilian experts. Those representing the United States and its allies comprise the blue team.
Comprise.
Comprise the blue team.
The red team are the bad guys.
The players change every year, as do the scenarios being tested, but every
Scenario.
as do the scenarios being tested, but every The players change every year, as do the scenarios being tested, but every year the results are published in trade journals.
Journal.
Results published in trade journals. That year's game was designed to test the military response to the activation of a sleeper cell in New York City. The red team's goal was to cause maximum destruction and chaos.
Maximum.
The red team's goal was to cause maximum destruction and chaos. Something so startling, it was immediately declared a federal secret.
That sounds scary.
Scary.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, there's a guy named Gary Sullivan from the chat room we moderated. They got into a flame war over something.
Flame.
They got into a flame war over something.
Just so I'm understanding you correctly.
Correctly.
Just so I'm understanding you correctly. Neither.
You okay?
Punishment, as if that accomplishes anything.
Punishment.
Punishment, as if that accomplishes anything.
How can you be sure the person who bugged Pontecorvo's house is actually going to come back for it?
If there was one bug in there, the odds are there are others.
Odd.
There are others who have till an hour ago, so they couldn't fetch their things until now. The TV satellite truck that pulled.
Satellite.
TV satellite truck that pulled up 20 minutes ago. He clearly isn't here to install anything, so.
Install.
He clearly isn't here to install anything, so... Those of you who are well enough to be walking around anyway.
I'm a free citizen of the United States. I'd like to leave now. No.
Unite. Unite.
I'm a free citizen of the United States. I'd like to leave now. No.
Their plan to attack it was so good, they made it a national secret.
The world is balanced on a knife edge of destruction every single day.
Destruction. Destruction.
On a knife edge of destruction every single day.
You accused Todd Clark of masterminding some sort of plot to kill citizens who had...
Plot. Plot.
Sort of plot to kill citizens who had...
You told me you're getting rid of those cameras.
Rid. Rid.
You told me you're getting rid of those cameras.
I was poking my own. They're lucky those shells were filled with rock salt.
Shell. Shell.
They're lucky those shells were filled with rock salt.
If he is, we need to get him into custody before he hurts anyone else. I noticed you didn't exactly howl in protest when I met.
Protest. Protest.
I noticed you didn't exactly howl in protest when I met.
I thought he was kidding.
He was trying to drive up the price. With the red team dead, any potential buyer would have...
Buyer. Buyer.
With the red team dead, any potential buyer would have... With the red team dead, any potential buyer would have to come to him. He could charge a fortune.
Fortune. Fortune.
Would have to come to him. He could charge a fortune.
A homeless guy found him a little while ago.
Homeless. Homeless.
A homeless guy found him a little while ago.
Yeah. The department took the whole floor.
That works perfectly. Thank you.
Perfectly. Perfectly.
That works perfectly. Thank you.
Got the rest of the red team out, but he nabbed one of our detectives, holding him hostage in the room.
Hostage. Hostage.
Holding him hostage in the room. Our negotiator called the room phone. Dresden gave us his demands. Usually a guy wants a helicopter or a bus. He just...
Helicopter. Helicopter.
Usually a guy wants a helicopter or a bus. He just...
I know what to say to make him stop. I understand what's at stake here. I'll get your man out safely.
Safely. Safely.
I'll get your man out safely.
Maybe hundreds of thousands of deaths will result. But if everyone who knows the plan is dead or stripped of their memory,
Strip. Strip.
and is dead or stripped of their memory.
I'm serious about killing that detective. They'll give me what I want. 8 lives versus thousands.
Versus. Versus.
8 lives versus thousands. 8 lives versus thousands. Math still works.
Math. Math.
Math still works.
It's in a memo. It's been emailed back and forth.
It was labeled for eyes only. No,
Label. Label.
it was labeled for eyes only. No.
I don't know how to answer that question.
You don't let anyone into your life that's not constantly concerned with you.
No.
Constantly. Constantly.
That's not constantly concerned with you.
No.